Welcome to Huddle Adventures. I am Eddie. Laura isn't here right now. Today I want to talk to you guys about the Omicron variant and give you some of our opinions on Omicron and how it is impacting the cruise industry, what we think will happen. But before we get into that, this heavily opinionated piece of video, I'm going to ask you to please hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and give us a thumbs up, guys. Those things are free to you, but they help our channel grow, and we're here for you. We're all things cruising, cruise news, cruise vlogs, cruise reviews, cruise tips, cruise opinions. We have it all, guys, so thanks. Now, to Omicron. Okay, in regards to the Omicron variant, we knew from back last, February, January of 2020, going back a little over a year ago, the scientists told us that we will get variants. There will be variants, just like we have variants with the regular flu. You guys know we've grown up with the flu, right? And every year there's a new flu vaccine because there's always a new strain of flu out there, right? So this is similar, right? So it's like harkens back to your 6th grade science classes where you learn about Darwin and evolution and how things evolve and adjust, to continue living. And viruses are no different, right? So with that said, we saw Delta, right? Delta came, and Delta was devastating, guys. It really was. Delta was lethal. It came on strong, and it came on strong after cruising returned, guys. Okay, cruising returned, then Delta came. Delta was really big like in October. Laura and I returned to cruising in August. We kind of did a last minute cruise in August. We got an email offer and we squeezed in a weekend, 4-day Bahama cruise on the Magic. Had a great time, wearing masks and following COVID protocols. But our next cruise, and for that cruise, you had to have a COVID test with negative results 72 hours before sailing, 3 days. Our next cruise, which we booked spontaneously a month later, was on the Panorama in October, a little over a month. I think it was 5 weeks later. They had changed, because Delta hit, they adjusted the protocols and they went to 48 hours prior to sailing. So you had to have a negative COVID test 2 days prior to sailing, which, made it a little trickier. That 1 day difference does make a difference when you're trying to schedule COVID tests, right? So we sailed through that. The cruise lines did a great job handling that and limiting the spread of Delta. The difference between Delta and Omicron, and the scientific community is in agreement with this, guys. Omicron is spreading lightning fast, and it spreads way easier than Delta. The good news is people that are fully vaccinated are getting no symptoms from it, most of them. So if you read and you look real close at all these news stories, and they'll say, Royal Caribbean reports 48 COVID cases on board. Royal Caribbean reports 55 COVID cases on board. And then you'll look and it will always say, it says most guests have no symptoms, so they're not showing COVID symptoms. So that's good. That's good news. And it's 1% of the population on board. So this isn't like, an outbreak, because that's why, the news media, man, they sell commercials. So they hook you, and they want you to come in so you watch the commercials, because that's how they make their money, right? So everything has to be sensationalized, it's an outbreak. 1% is not, it's not a massive outbreak, and it's nothing what the airline industry is going through today. The airline industry has so many employees out on leave due to being sick that they had to cancel flights today, right? So this isn't the same thing. We're talking 1%, all right? So back to what we believe. We believe the cruise industry will not be shut down. That's our opinion. Cruise industry will continue to sail. Where the complexity comes in for the cruise industry is when the port countries that the cruise lines go to, when they start shutting down and refusing to allow ships in, then your itineraries become very limited, and that's an issue, right? The other thing is the cruise industry they were ramping up to full capacity. I'll give you an example. This is a cool thing about us only being on Carnival since the pandemic. I mentioned in another video, we sailed exclusively with Royal prior to the pandemic, and then we kind of gave Carnival a try, and we're really enjoying Carnival, guys. We're getting to that in another video. But my point is, the Magic in August was a little under 60% capacity. The Panorama in October was over 60% capacity. And then the Sunrise, which we were on in December of 2 weeks ago, actually like 10 days ago, we got off the ship, was over 80% occupied. So what's happening is more and more people are returning to cruising. And I don't think that the cruise lines have actively been limiting capacity. I think the demand hasn't reached full capacity, but it's starting to. And if you watch our channel, we did a report last week where the CEO for Carnival Corporation came out and reported, I believe his name is Donald Arnold, or Arnold Donald, I'm sorry, it's one or the other. I'll clarify it right here. He came out and said that bookings for 2022 were up, which was great news, and that onboard spending currently is up at a all-time high. So that's good. That's great indicators that people are returning to cruising. Now, what the cruise industry might have to do, and what Royal did yesterday, is they're actually going to actively limit capacity in order to allow for social distancing. Okay, so that's what I think they're going to do. And Royal, they showed their hand by doing it. I posted a video last night from my guitar dungeon at home, and in it I shared the news story where Royal Caribbean locked down all their bookings between now and January 10th, which means if you go online, you can't book a last-minute cruise between now and January 10th. They don't want to get those cruises to capacity for social distancing purposes. So I think we're going to see more of that. The cruise industry is no different than any other industry, guys. When one company does something and it looks like it's going to work or be effective, the others copy it. It's done that in basically every industry. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing this cruise line's trying this, now this cruise line's going to do it too, and so on and so forth. So now, with the itineraries, there's enough ports out there where I think they'll stay open no matter what, because some of the ports are so dependent on tourist dollars that they're willing to continue allowing cruise ships to arrive there, which is great. But what might happen is the itineraries will become so redundant, and they may be deemed boring by guests and customers, so that could bring the demand for cruising down, which isn't a good thing. Now again, this is all hypothetical, opinionated stuff that I'm sharing with you guys. But what I'm trying to do is I'm hoping that this video will help comfort some of you guys out there that are really on the fence. I know some of you are getting ready to get back in. You were scared and you're getting ready to get back in, and it's like, oh no, I'm not going to do it. Guys, it is safe. There isn't a safer COVID environment than on a cruise ship right now. I want you to think about this. Everyone is tested 48 hours before they get on board. Everybody is fully vaccinated except for kids under 12, and a lot of them are getting vaccinated now too. They have to sail at a minimum of 95% vaccinated. So the highest, 5% at the highest, 5% of the entire population on that ship is unvaccinated. That's a very small portion of people, right? So that's you have that. Then you have the masks being worn indoors, all right? So it is a much safer COVID environment than going and watching, the Green Bay Packers play this weekend, or flying to your Aunt Myrtle's house next week for, to visit. You get in that airline at the airport. Everybody's wearing masks in there, but you don't have to be vaccinated to fly. You don't have to be tested to fly domestically. If you're coming into the U.S., you have to have a COVID test and be vaccinated to come in. But you can fly all over the country, everywhere, all day long, and never have to be vaccinated or tested. So even though they make you wear a mask in the airport and they make you wear a mask on the plane, they sell food in the airport, right, guys? We all eat food in the airport, right? If you fly enough, you're grabbing Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or M&M's, whatever, and you're snacking while you're waiting for your plane. So, or you're drinking, so you got your mask off. And those seats are all tight. The airlines are back 100%. They are packed. I'm not kidding you, man. The airlines are packed. If you haven't flown in a while, they are packed again. When we came back from Miami on December, I think it was 14th, it was a Monday, Miami International Airport was packed. It was packed. So my point is, that's a really unsafe environment. Going to the Giants football game or the Packers football game or going to see the Supersonics play or whoever, any large event, going to a concert, you're going to be around people that aren't tested, aren't vaccinated, don't have to prove that they're vaccinated. And that's happening everywhere. You go to your Walmart, you go to your Target, any store you go to, no one is tested or required to be tested. No one's required to be vaccinated. We're around all these people. And we do that stuff every day. I work at a place where we're not required to be tested. We're not required to be vaccinated. We're required to wear masks all the time. We've been wearing masks nonstop since May of 2020, okay? Every day, all day. So, but my coworkers, they're catching COVID left and right, and they're getting time off with COVID. We've avoided it, okay? We've avoided it by due diligence, being very careful. My mom lives with us, and she has COPD. So we are very, very careful, to try to limit our exposure to people. We wear masks. One of our family members passed away this past week. We went to the funeral home, and we were some of the only people that are wearing masks. So we take it very serious, guys. We really do. And it's a personal choice, okay? I don't want to get in debate masks. I don't want to debate vaccines. I'm stating facts as far as on a cruise ship, you're less likely to get COVID there than you are at your local grocery store or at your place of employment. Okay, guys? So with that, I want to thank you for watching. We really appreciate all the new subscribers. We are here for you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.